BBC story about a granny in the UK who is tearing it up at nightclubs in Paris.
Go.
Let's watch the video.
The dance floor is throbbing, the music is pounding, but there is something a little unusual about this scene. Behind the decks, not quite a superstar DJ, more the geriatric kind. Ruth Flowers pumping out massive tunes, blinged up for all to see. Not bad for a pensioner. You might think pension. At 69 she'd be more suited to the wireless or ballroom dancing, but Ruth is planning a tour and an upcoming single. The sunglasses, by the way, a fashion statement, not cataracts. And her love for happy hardcore began with her grandson's birthday.
The noise, it was very noisy, and the lights were flashing, but there was an awful lot of energy and joy and real enjoyment of the music and the dancing. And I thought, I like this. I love to see the kids enjoying themselves. And so I thought, I said to myself, I could do that. I could do that for the kids,
And are her loved ones supportive or a little embarrassed?
My family think it's absolutely fantastic. My son thinks, go for it, Mum. Do it.
Ruth has no plans to retire. She's still got the energy and the love of music. So, no end in sight for this MC OAP. Tim Allman, BBC News.
OAP, I'm still trying to figure that one out. Okay, somebody write in and tell us what that is.
I love that because you're as old as you feel, okay? And she's tearing it up. I want to be like that. I don't want to be one of those people that gets tired and lazy and doesn't want to party. I want to be one of those people who's energetic in my 60s.
Granny Anna's going to tear it up.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not energetic now, which is kind of bad.
Here's what I'm thinking. At 69, you know what I'm going to want? I'm going to want a real nice couch. Okay, and whatever the DVD player of that era is. Like, put it in. It's probably 3D. People are probably floating around the living room, just soaked at it. Oh, who's going to go to clubs with loud music and such? No. Now, of course, Ruth is a genius because since she's the only 69-year-old doing this, of course, it's a great marketing angle. Who doesn't want to have Ruth at the party or at the club? Come on, that's a huge draw.
I definitely want to party it up with Ruth Flowers.
Everybody does, right? So that's a genius move on her part. Okay, make some extra cheese on the side for a pensioner. I like it, okay? Pass that on to the grandkids. Or, you know what? Hell, take it and run with it. Go nuts. Go travel around the world. DJ, spin the records all around the globe. All right, Ruth, we're all on your side.
And by the way, she's spinning the really good beats right now.
Oh, no, of course.
That song that she was remixing, that's a good song.
Oh, yeah.
That's what all the big raves are playing.
Yeah, I just want to know when her album drops.
I know, seriously. I'll buy her album if that's the kind of music.
I've thought of it before. Is it that hard just because you didn't grow up with this kind of music that you just can't follow it? Because I was at this little bar that had a small dance floor down in Redondo Beach. And he's probably close to 60-year-old dude that was putting on the stuff, but it was typical top 20 stuff. I said, I don't know if somebody handed him this list, because he wasn't spinning and mixing because he didn't know what he was doing. But he was facilitating the music, put it that way.
Facilitating.
And so, is it that hard just to keep, because he put on Miley Cyrus, and I was like, okay, this guy's been handed this list. Nobody wants to hear this.
Right.
But just because you're 69, does that mean you can't know what's coming out? You knew what was coming out when you were 20. Your brain doesn't change. I don't see why you can't do this.
Yeah, no, I hear you. And let me just add something quick to that, because, I've been following music, I never let it go. Like, some of my friends, they're still back in the 80s. Like, they just stopped following the new stuff that was coming out. They stopped listening to the radio, right?
Way to throw your friends under the bus.
Okay, Steve-O. Okay? And so now he's catching up because of his kids, okay? But before, he's like, what is this man you speak of, this doctor? What is it, Dre? Is he a real doctor? What's going on? So anyway, and you mentioned names, you'd have no idea of, the most famous people, et cetera, et cetera. Now, so I've been following it all along, and I assume that I will for the rest of my life. So when I get to 60 or 70, I think I'll still like whatever's new, right? But some people just fall off a cliff. And so by
Right.
the time they come back, they're like, oh, these whippersnappers are listening to some crazy stuff.
Yeah, but you know what? People also change their tastes so much by the time they get older. Like back in the day, if I were 12 years old right now, the Jonas Brothers would be the bomb. I'd be like, oh yeah, Jonas Brothers. But now I listen to the Jonas Brothers and I can't stand it. I can't stand Taylor Swift. Her lyrics are cheesy, it's too poppy, and that's the popular music right now.
I'm going to
right?
give myself a little bit of credit in music, which I almost never do. I never got into that pop little things or whatever when I was a kid. I didn't like music that much anyway, but I just never understood why everybody was going crazy. What were those kids? You don't know. That's too old school for you, but the Telemundo brothers, what were they?
Oh, I know, Menudo.
Menudo, right? The Telemundo brothers.
That's we're so bad.
Okay, Menudo, and everyone's like, ah! I'm like, what? Ah, it's just a stupid song, and it's, kind of poppy. Who cares?
Yeah.
And I wasn't like one of those guys who's like, oh, it doesn't even rock out. But you could tell it was for kids.
Can I also ask one thing? Because I know we have listeners that love Taylor Swift. We have to. We have young viewers, right? So how many songs about fairy tales is this girl going to write? Like, she has literally 12 fairy tale songs out there. Oh, I got it. It's a fairy tale. Romeo and Juliet. Yes, you're whatever. I don't want to hear about how Prince Charming came and saved you. Because I heard about it a year ago when you released your other album about the other fairy tales.
Right, and that's why Kelly Clarkson is so much better, where she comes and talks about how her heart got ripped out.
And that's the kind of music I can get behind.
Yeah. Says you've been gone! Sorry.